A familiar face, a commanding voice, and one of the most unforgettable authority figures in movie history is now gone. Fans of Back to the Future are mourning the loss of a man who helped define an entire generation of cinema. James Tolkan, best known as the strict, no-nonsense Mr. Strickland, has passed away at 94. But behind that iconic glare was a career that stretched far beyond Hill Valley High, and a legacy that few actors ever achieve. So what made Tolkan so unforgettable? And why are fans, and even his co-stars, paying such emotional tributes right now? It's one of those moments that quietly hits you, and then suddenly feels bigger than expected. On March 26th, news broke that James Tolkan had passed away at the age of 94. At first, it seemed like just another headline in a long list of Hollywood losses. But for fans of classic cinema, especially those who grew up watching Back to the Future, this one felt different. Because James Tolkan wasn't just another supporting actor. He was that guy. The voice. The stare. The authority. The kind of presence that instantly made you sit up straight, even through a TV screen. His representative confirmed the heartbreaking news, describing him as a beloved professional who lived a good, full life. And while no official cause of death has been released, the emotional reaction from fans tells you everything you need to know about his impact. Social media lit up almost instantly. Clips of Mr. Strickland flooded timelines. Quotes resurfaced. That famous line, calling students slackers, started trending again. But this time, it wasn't funny nostalgia. It felt personal. Because for many fans, Tolkan represented more than just a character. He was part of a movie that defined childhood, shaped imagination, and became a cultural cornerstone. And when someone like that passes away, it's not just an actor you lose. It's a piece of your past, let's be honest. There are thousands of characters in film history, but only a handful become instantly recognizable, even decades later. James Tolkan's portrayal of Mr. Strickland is one of them. In Back to the Future, he played the iron-fisted vice principal of Hill Valley High, a man who ruled the halls with absolute authority. He didn't need flashy scenes or long speeches. All he needed was presence. That sharp voice. That piercing stare. That zero-tolerance attitude. And somehow, in just a few scenes, he created one of the most memorable authority figures in movie history. What made it even more impressive? He carried that role across all three films. In the 1985 original, he was the feared disciplinarian keeping Marty McFly in check. In the 1989 sequel, he returned with the same intensity. And in the 1990 installment, he even played the ancestor of his character, bringing that same energy to a completely different era. That kind of consistency. Rare. But what fans loved most was how real he felt. Everyone had a teacher like that. Or a principal. Someone who didn't joke around. Someone who demanded respect. Tolkan didn't just act the role. He embodied it. And that's why, even today, decades later, one look at him instantly takes fans right back to Hill Valley. Here's what a lot of people don't realize. James Tolkan's career didn't start with Back to the Future. And it definitely didn't end there. In fact, his journey in entertainment stretched over 5 decades. Before Hollywood even knew his name, Tolkan spent 25 years in theater, honing his craft, mastering stage performance, and building the kind of discipline that would later define his on-screen presence. And when he transitioned to film and television, he brought that same intensity with him. He appeared in a wide range of roles, often playing authority figures, military officers, or tough, commanding personalities. It became his signature. But it wasn't typecasting. It was mastery. He had a way of making every role feel grounded and believable. No overacting. No gimmicks. Just pure, controlled performance. And that's something younger actors still study today. Because in an era of big effects and loud performances, Tolkan proved that sometimes less is more. And even though millions remember him as Mr. Strickland, his true legacy is much bigger than one role. It's about consistency, longevity, and a level of professionalism that earned him respect across the entire industry. Then came the moment that really hit fans in the heart. Michael J. Fox, the face of Back to the Future himself, shared a tribute that said everything in just a few words. Posting on Instagram stories, Fox wrote, "R.I.P. the great James Tolkan. You were definitely no slacker. Grateful to know you, act with you, and direct you." Short, simple, but powerful. And if you know the films, that "no slacker" line hits differently. It wasn't just a tribute. It was a callback. A moment that connected the actor, the character, and the fans all at once. Because that's what made their on-screen dynamic so special. Marty McFly versus Mr. Strickland. Rebel versus authority. Youth versus discipline. And yet, behind the scenes, there was mutual respect. That's something you don't always see in Hollywood. But with Tolkan, it was real. And Fox's tribute confirmed what many suspected. That beyond the stern character was a man who was deeply respected by those who worked with him. Here's the part most people never saw. Behind that intimidating stare, behind the sharp voice that could shut down a classroom in seconds, James Tolkan was actually known as one of the most disciplined and respected professionals in Hollywood. And that's not just industry talk. That's coming from people who worked with him. Because what made Tolkan so convincing on screen wasn't just acting, it was who he was. He carried himself with a kind of old-school seriousness that came from decades of experience. Theatre taught him that. Years on stage, night after night, no retakes, no second chances. You either delivered, or you didn't. And Tolkan always delivered. But here's what makes it even more interesting. He didn't chase fame. He didn't need the spotlight. While other actors were building celebrity personas, Tolkan focused on the craft. Showing up prepared. Knowing his lines. Understanding the rhythm of a scene. Respecting the people around him. That's why directors trusted him. That's why he kept getting cast. And that's why, even in smaller roles, he stood out. Because when Tolkan walked into a scene, you felt it. There was weight behind every word. Purpose behind every look. And off camera, people describe him very differently than Mr. Strickland. Calm. Thoughtful. Professional. Even warm. It's almost ironic. The man who became famous for calling others slackers was one of the hardest working actors in the business. Think about this for a second. Back to the Future came out in 1985. That's over 4 decades ago. And yet, Mr. Strickland is still instantly recognizable today. Why? Because that character never went out of style. Every generation understands him. Every generation knows someone like him. The strict teacher. The no-nonsense principal. The authority figure who doesn't smile much, but keeps everything in order. That's a universal experience. And Tolkan tapped into that perfectly. He didn't overplay it. He didn't turn it into a joke. He played it straight, and that's exactly why it worked. Because it felt real. And here's something else. In a movie filled with time travel, wild inventions, and larger-than-life moments, Mr. Strickland grounded everything. He was the reality check. The reminder that even in a story about bending time, there are still rules, still consequences. That balance is what made the film so powerful. And Tolkan was a key part of that. Even today, younger audiences discovering Back to the Future for the first time still react the same way. They laugh. They recognize him instantly. And they remember him. That's not nostalgia. That's impact. Think about this for a second. Back to the Future came out in 1985. That's over 4 decades ago. And yet, Mr. Strickland is still instantly recognizable today. Why? Because that character never went out of style. Every generation understands him. Every generation knows someone like him. The strict teacher. The no-nonsense principal. The authority figure who doesn't smile much, but keeps everything in order. That's a universal experience. And Tolkan tapped into that perfectly. He didn't overplay it. He didn't turn it into a joke. He played it straight, and that's exactly why it worked. Because it felt real. And here's something else. In a movie filled with time travel, wild inventions, and larger-than-life moments, Mr. Strickland grounded everything. He was the reality check. The reminder that even in a story about bending time, there are still rules, still consequences. That balance is what made the film so powerful. And Tolkan was a key part of that. Even today, Younger audiences discovering Back to the Future for the first time still react the same way. They laugh. They recognize him instantly. And they remember him. That's not nostalgia. That's impact. James Tolkan didn't just play a role. He became part of a legacy that continues to live on decades later. From the halls of Hill Valley to stages and sets across a 50-year career, he brought something rare: authenticity, discipline, presence. And now, at 94, he leaves behind more than performances. He leaves behind a standard. The kind of standard that actors still chase and audiences still respect. So as fans revisit Back to the Future and hear that unforgettable voice one more time, it hits differently now. Because legends don't really disappear, they echo. What's the one line or moment you'll never forget? Let me know below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep these icons alive. And before we come to the end of this video, I just want to take a moment to say a very big thank you to all of you for watching. Your time truly means a lot. In a world where there are thousands of videos you could be watching right now, the fact that you chose to spend a few minutes here with me on Heartbroken TV is something I truly appreciate. This channel continues to grow because of viewers like you. Every view, every comment, and every bit of support helps this community become stronger. And that's what makes creating these videos so rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, please take a quick moment to like the video, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends or anyone who might enjoy this content. Your interaction really helps the channel reach more people who love stories, entertainment, and updates just like you do. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Heartbroken TV, and turn on the notification bell so you'll always be among the first to know when a new video is uploaded. There are many more exciting videos coming your way very soon, and I would love for you to be part of this journey as the channel continues to grow. I also enjoy hearing your thoughts, so feel free to drop your opinions, ideas, or suggestions in the comment section. Your voice matters here, and your feedback helps make Heartbroken TV even better. Once again, thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, stay entertained, and keep watching Heartbroken TV.